Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and it's 50 Stack Challenge Day today, 50 Stack Challenge 7. This is hosted by Crafty Cat, and every week she pulls a random prompt, two random prompts, and then we make a piece of ephemera to go with each prompt, and that's what I've been working on. And we're on week 17 and 18 this week. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of prep for the second prompt because it needs to dry, because the second prompt is gesso. That's number 18. So I just need to quickly do something. I'm going to work on this card. This is one of the cards from the cover, one of the journal cards in one of the pockets in the cover. And I thought I'd use this. I've been inspired for this one by another video by Amy, not to do with the 50 Stack Challenge, something completely different, but it inspired me to do this particular journal card, but to what I want to do, because I don't really use gesso very much, although I have a most giant bottle of it, barely lift it, so I haven't used it very much, even though I've had it for a long time. So I was thinking, what can I do, and then she did this video, and I thought, that's what I want to do, but I'll do mine for autumn, and she did hers for Christmas. So on my little jelly plate here, I've got a blob of gesso, and I've got some brown acrylic paint. This is just cheap acrylic paint from Hobbycraft. So I want to colour my gesso, because for autumn I don't really want it to be white, because I feel like that doesn't really work for me as far as autumn goes. So I thought I'd colour it a bit and create a background. And we need to cover up this printed bit on here on the back of the file folder that I've used for the journal card. So I'm just going to try and mix some of this brown paint in with the gesso, because I want it to be a little bit textured. Don't really know what colour I want. I don't want it to be... It says chocolate. At the moment it's more milk chocolate than dark chocolate. I might need a bit more. I don't really know what colour I want, really. I just want something to create a background. It doesn't really need to be too dark, I don't think, so I might just try it and see how it looks, whether it does what I want it to do. Because I've got this bit of bubble wrap. I've used it before, and I thought I'd just dab it in the gesso mixture, the gesso paint mixture, and dab it on my card and see what happens. So I'm just creating a bit of a background here. Not really too sure what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a try, because hopefully the gesso will give it that bit of depth of coverage, so it will cover up the printed bit. So I'm just going to try just dabbing it all over. I don't want it all not up to the top, I don't think. I'm not sure how well it's covering. It is covering that bit. And there'll be something else to go on top. It's going to be quite a dense coverage, isn't it, right at the moment? But a lot of it will be covered. So I had to cover that quite thickly, really, to cover up that printing part there. So who knows how this is going to look in the end. Just going to give it a very faint coverage up the top there, just to bring it all together. Yeah, I really don't know how this is going to end up looking, but that's what I've got. And we'll see. I've got to leave this to dry now, because it's quite wet in the middle here. There's a funny mark there. That's it, it's come off. Oh no, just moved. It's a lump of paint. So I'm going to put this over here and hope it dries before I need to come back to it. So I am just going to clean up, and then we'll start the prompt number 17. That was the preparation for prompt 18. And I'll come back in a second and we'll start number 7. So I'm back. This is actually the next day, and I've made a massive boo-boo. I thought I'd have actually filmed the making of the number 17 prompt. So I thought I managed to forget to turn the camera on when I did it. So by the time I realised the camera wasn't on, I'd pretty well finished it. So I thought, well, I'd better just come back in and remake this section of the video, because otherwise you'll just see the finished make and it won't make any sense. So here I am again, making the number 17 prompt, which is photograph. This is one that I actually am going to do the same thing that Amy did. Normally I like to do something different, just because you know, whatever occurs to me might be different to what she's doing, and she's always very inspiring. But these they're like photo strips. I think you can get them on from Tim Holtz and from other places. I've never used them, never bought them, never made them, and I really like the look of them. So I thought, well, I'd really like to have a go, even though it's what Amy did as well, and her video will be linked below. And I really enjoyed making the one I did make that you haven't seen yet. So I'm going to do another one, and I actually said in my video I quite like to do this again, so here I am doing it again. So I started with a strip of file folder, because it's quite nice and sturdy, and I've cut it to 8 inches tall, which is the height of my journal, or the height of my pages, to 2 inches wide. It's a little narrower than the ones Amy makes, and I believe Tim Holtz, they're all 2 1/4. But my photos are a bit smaller than those ones, so they'd be far too small for a 2 1/4. So they're still a little small to go on this one, but I'm going to back them. So the photos I'm using, they all come from the same kit that I've been using all along. There's a whole bunch of them here. It's all on one page of like little strips of photographs, cute little photographs of kids like this. You know, it's quite Victorian looking. Really sweet, so many different sorts. I keep seeing more I'd like to use. I've picked out a couple. I'd still like to do, you know, I keep seeing others that would work as well. So so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do, stick on some papers, stick on the photographs. So I've got the couple of little photos here. I've just spotted another one I like the look of, and I'm thinking about changing my mind now. And now I've lost one of the ones I was going to use. Isn't that always the way? One of the ones I'd picked out, got it all ready, has now disappeared. Where's it gone? Oh, for goodness sake. Where is it? Just hold the phone while I search for my missing photograph. Something goes missing every time I make a video. Something went missing in the last video that I didn't film. No, not there. Well, so much of being prepared. Okay, so I nearly started the video again for the third time, but I found the photo I was looking for, so, and a couple of others that I might choose instead. So we'll just carry on from where I left off a moment ago. So I'm going to start off. So I've got this little photo. I think he's so sweet, standing in the snow by himself. So I've got him, and this was the one I was going to use. I'm trying to keep the colours kind of a little bit coordinated, I suppose. I like this one, but it really is such a different colour, the background. It doesn't really go, even though they're really sweet, those two little girls. So I think I'll stick with these two. I've got another one here as well. I mean, they're just lovely, these little pictures. So it's quite hard to choose, but I think I'll stick with the two I chose in the first place. So I think I have kind of done some preparation, because it takes a little while to do if you spend too much time choosing your papers. So I'm trying to get a bit ahead. So let's get started. Just grab my glue book, or some glue papers that I've used and I'm going to reuse because they're dry now. And I think kind of thought about what I want to do, so I'm trying to stick to colours that kind of work together, and it's a very different look to the one I did before, so you'll see that when this after this. So I'm going to pop this on here. These are all, nearly all from the RachandBellaCrafts kit. There's a little bit from the Roxy Creations papers as well, as I've been mixing them in to do everything. So, and I will just glue these on and then trim them, because I found, no, I put the glue on the wrong end, of course. I found yesterday when I was doing it that if I cut them to size, somehow they weren't quite the right size. They were never quite wide enough as I thought, so I'm now cutting everything a bit wider to make sure it fits, and then I'll trim. I've got a little piece of that, and I've got this lovely little piece that I've trimmed off from some Roxy Creations paper. So I'm just going to pop that on there. So I don't know if you'll have seen, but there's a new collaboration started that Rachel from RachandBellaCrafts are running. I was involved in their last collaboration, which happened in September. You may have seen. But me being me, always late to the party, I completely missed the invitation to join the new collaboration. I had a lot going on. We're doing some planning for our Christmas. For Christmas this year, and just wasn't looking at Facebook, so I completely missed the invitation, which is nothing unusual for me really. So yeah, so I'm not part of it, but I might join in at some point, and because I think anybody can join in and use the hashtag. I will link Rachel's video, the one introducing the new collaboration, and the new kit. I mean, there's a beautiful new kit. I will probably be buying it, because I can't help myself. I don't need it, but it's just an amazing kit, so I may just feel the need to buy it anyway. So I will link that below. So do go along and watch the new collaboration. It's going to be quite exciting. It's like a hop, where somebody makes something and then passes it on to the next person, and they carry it on. So it's quite an exciting idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece on there and then trim it down, because I thought we've got the snow on this bit of paper, and I thought that looks quite nice. I kind of like that, so that's going on there. Yeah, so that's I just wasn't looking at Facebook. That's where the invite was, and I didn't realise that's where we'd get that's how we would be told about it. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know I needed to check Facebook, because I don't do Facebook an awful lot. I do look, but I don't particularly look every day. So I missed it. So be it. I can't be part of everything. I've just got so many other things I want to do anyway at the moment. So I'm not too worried. Right, I've got this Tim Holtz. It's like a flashcardy thing. And I might just trim off this edge. I don't really want the rounded corners, so I'm going to take that off a little bit. It may even be a little wide, I don't know. Was I going to put that there? I think I was going to put it actually a bit further down. What was I going to put next? I think I was going to put this piece of Roxy Creations paper next, because I just thought that would be quite nice there. Yeah, I do like that there. Okay, that's going on. So I've got a bit of... Have I got any? No, actually I haven't got any of my Volunteer paper on this one. But couldn't use everything. And I just thought I'd use... Ooh, it's a bit mucky. Must have picked something up from the paper, from the book page. Take that off. Go away. And, oh yes, this needs a bit of ink. Now, is it going to be too wide? I'm just going to trim it a bit more. Trim a little bit more this side. I want the Merry to be central. And let's see, where do I need to cut on the other side? Just after the Y. may just leave a little bit, just to make sure I don't make it too short. Then I'll cut it off after. Okay. So yes, I did think, sorry, I do realise that I haven't got the camera on, as you will see later in the video. I didn't realise that it hadn't been on for the whole make. And I was mortified when I realised, when I started doing the editing. And I realised I actually hadn't filmed any of it. I couldn't believe it. I don't think I've ever done that before. But so be it. Just gave me a chance to do it again, didn't it? Make another one. And I did say I wanted to make another one, so here we are. But yeah, very silly thing to do. Hopefully I won't do that again. I have been known to not turn the camera back on and not realise it turned itself off, which is what I thought had happened. As you will see when you see the rest of the video, I thought the camera had turned itself off, as it does usually after half an hour, and usually I hear it or I get there ahead and turn it off anyway and back on. But this time, missed it completely. I thought I'd missed it. That's what I thought was going on. But no. In fact, I hadn't had it on in the first place. Right. Have I made that too wide now? I think this is too wide. I need to cut that down a bit more. It's going to be interesting with the glue on it already. Maybe I'll cut it. Maybe I better do it with my scissors and hope I can do it straight. Because I've just made it a little wider than I need it to be. Because it's actually quite difficult to get the two pictures on. Yeah, I'll glue it again. I'll just put a bit more glue on just to make sure. Yeah, because I've limited the height of this, because when Amy did hers, she did hers longer, so she can cut it down. But I thought, well, I'll just make it to the size of I'll make this into a side tuck. I think that's what I'll be doing. So I just thought I'd cut it to the size that I need, because I don't want to have to cut a picture in half because it's in the wrong place. And it's only just wide enough, this piece. It's that. I need to cut this down anyway. And it should fit. Just cut a little bit off. I really like these. I really like the one I made yesterday that you haven't seen yet, but you will. And okay, is that going to... I'll have to position it so that... I still think I could make that a little bit shorter, because I've got another little piece to go at the bottom here. So I'll make that just a little bit shorter. You know, I'm paranoid. I'm just checking I am filming. Yeah, it's all right. Just when I think I get all paranoid when I do silly things like that for a few videos, then I forget and do again, do something else silly. Right, it's got to fit now. Don't think I can cut any more off. So let's put this on. Just a teeny tiny tad too narrow, so I shall ink down that side and you won't notice. And I've got this little piece I want to pop at the bottom there. and then we'll add a few more extra little embellishments. Hopefully now. Oh, maybe I've made that little, put that up a little higher. I may have to trim off this little bit of, final little bit of paper. Yeah, that's going to go on there. Okay, like that. Right, let's trim off the edges, see where we're at, and add a couple of last little bits, and then that will be done. Just grab my scissors. So today you're getting 2 for the price of 1. Because you will see the one I made yesterday just finished off. And you'll see me realising that the camera was off. Just not that it had been off for half an hour. Never mind. Oh, the little bits are sticking to me now. Ooh, I don't like these little tiny pieces. Right. Okay, so we have that. So looking good so far. I've got a few little bits up here. I don't think I'll use them all. I've got a Let It Snow. This also from RachandBellaCrafts kit, same kit. Got a whole 2 pages of words and phrases. So I've got Let It Snow, which I thought I might put there. Yes, I like that there. So I'm going to put that on that little spot. Don't know if I need anything here because I've already got Mary down here, and you don't want it too crowded with words. I do have confectionery. Is that too many words together? I could put it up here. I've got ho ho ho, which I could put there. I also pulled out this little tiny piece from Tim Holtz. Maybe I could put that one on there. It wasn't my original plan, but go in the middle. So I quite like the ho 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 down there, I think. I had thought I might put this down here, but actually I think I prefer the ho 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 right there. Oh, I better, have I trimmed off the bottom? Yes I have, that's okay. I'm going to put that there, just because I quite like the look of it. It's going there. Now am I going to put my 25? Put it something like that. Is that too distracting? At the top. Or not at all. That may be enough. Just feel I want to add a little something, but I don't know what. Do I want to add a little bit of lace across here? This is a bit, not really what I was planning at all. me just see what I can, if there's anything that I can find that I think will work there. I don't know. I kind of think the simplicity of them is rather what they're part of their charm, isn't it? So maybe I should leave well alone. It's too easy just to keep adding and adding and adding. So I think I'll leave it there. Let's leave it there. I will ink around it because I think that will bring it all together. And then when I come to use it, I might decide to add something. I don't know. But maybe I should leave that till I use it. So that's it. That is my remake of prompt number 17, photograph. And then I will now go into the bit of video that I've already made. I'll add that all on, and you'll see the rest of the, you'll see the other photo strip that I made and how I finished that off, and then go into the rest of the journal card that I started at the beginning of this video. I'm sorry for all the messing about, but I hope it makes sense. And I've just realised that is too far. It's not central, but never mind. It's too late now. Okay. See you in a moment. Right, I've been merrily gluing things on. I didn't realise the camera would switch itself off, and I have no idea at what point it did that. So I'm going to finish this off. If I feel if there's too much missing, I'll do another one and film that instead. But if it's only a case of missing a few bits being glued on, then hopefully you'll forgive me for that little slip up. I just didn't even realise. So I've just decided to put a piece of rickrack across the bottom here. That was the last little finishing touch that I wanted to do. Just going to do that because I couldn't find something, a label or a word that worked there for me. So let's just pop this little piece on. I think it just needed a finishing touch down the bottom here. And then that one's done. I was oblivious, happily chatting away, telling you what I was doing and trying to figure everything out. And the camera stopped working. Well, I think it does turn off after a certain time. After about half an hour, it turns off, and usually I hear it. Just now and again, I'm too involved in what I'm doing and I miss it. So I'm so sorry. But we now have, I think it's called a photo strip. Actually, I really like that. I really like that. I'd quite like to make some more. I don't know if I'll ever have time. Yeah, so it would work quite well as a side tuck, I think. So that's my first prompt for today. And I'm going to clear this up and then I'll be back. And I will turn the camera back on, I promise. Right, I'm back with this journal card. Now, I didn't like that big brown blob in the middle. So I have just quickly off camera kind of stippled over it with a bit more gesso just to knock that back. And now I want to add a bit more autumnal colour to it. It's looking a terrible mess. I'm just going to keep working on it. A lot of it will get covered, thank goodness. But I thought I'd just see if I can create a background that I'm at least reasonably happy with. So I have put some rusty hinge on my jelly plate. I'm just going to give it a little squirt to activate it. And then I'm going to have another go with my stipple brush and see if I can add a bit of orangey colour, autumnal colour to this. Kind of suggesting autumn leaves in a very haphazard, very general way. Okay, well, at least it's got rid of all that horrible brown, and you can't see that bit of black writing on it either now. So can we do a bit of, maybe a bit of splattering? Don't know if that'll splatter. Don't even know if it will show. Don't think it is showing. Don't think it's actually working, but never mind. I've got a very orange finger now. Maybe. Or is it going too far if I try to drip it? There's always a point at which you think, should I stop now? I might do. I'm not going to clear this off yet in case I feel I need to come back and, I don't know, drip some things on. But this is the basic card now. I think it is a little damp. I might just quickly zhuzh it with my heat tool. Bring that in. Now I was considering stamping on the back of this just to create the woodland effect with my kind of tree bark, I don't know what you call these, tree stems. It's upside down, that's not going to work. Just put a few trees, I don't know. The whole idea of this card was meant to be really, really simple. The one that Amy didn't have all this nonsense in the background. Just I think she did she do even, I think she did a little bit of gesso, but it was to create a snowy effect, because it was a Christmas one. But I had to cover up all that writing. That was the main problem. So what she did, and what I've done, but for autumn, is cut out a bunch of triangles for trees. So hers were all green. Mine are, there's a sort of dark, kind of rusty red. It's going to go there. And I've got a brown. And I've got an orange. And I think I don't want them all at the same height. So I'm going to put that one there. That one up a bit maybe. Bring that down a touch. So just going to cross them over like that. Or maybe bring this down. Don't know. I did also cut out a couple of small yellow ones. They're very bright and I have a feeling they're a bit distracting. Because you have to kind of it looks better with an odd number. And 5 is a bit of a push to get on this card, I think. That one there doesn't look too bad if you tuck it behind. I don't know whether I can tuck another one behind here, whether that would feel like it's a bit overdoing it now, and then you've got these yellow either side and they're a bit distracting. So can I do 4? Or would I be better to stick with the 3? It's always about trying to keep to odd numbers, isn't it, with things? And I think these two are probably not going to work. And then I've got my little tree trunks. Just cut out some cardstock, brown cardstock. Pop a little trunk under each one. Like so. One more. This one was a bit thin, I thought. Got another one there. So that would be pretty much it. And I kind of like that now, I think. I don't think it needs the stamping. I might just do a little bit, oh gosh, I do a little bit more of the orange around the sides. And around the bottom. Bring a bit more of that autumn colour. Alright, stop. Okay, oops. Now I'm getting orange on my stamp block. Put that out of harm's way. Right, so I think the best thing is to glue my my little stems, tree trunks, whatever you call them, onto the backs of these. Then I can trim them to size. Oh, that's not working very well. Going on there. The whole thing came off. I'm hoping this glue works. So I've got one. Move that up. Two. Three. So this, the video that Amy did was, she saw it in Somerset Music magazine, Somerset Studio magazine, I think it is. It's not a magazine, I know, we don't have it over here as far as I'm aware. So, but I just caught the video, because I watch quite a lot of her videos, and thought it would work quite well for autumn. So I think these two are going to kind of, I think this one's ended up being a little bit bigger, the tree. I haven't got a problem with that. They don't have to be the same. I think I used the same template. All I did was took a piece of cardstock, folded it in half, and then drew a line, drew a little kind of triangle like that, and then when you open it, you've got an even, it's symmetrical, because I'm not very good at being symmetrical, and it seemed about the easiest way of doing it, so you've got a fairly symmetrical tree. What am I looking for? Scissors. So I think I need to just trim that one. There. And the same with this one. There. And this one could be a little longer. Yep, that could be longer because then they're all sort of up on the bottom. Okay. Right, I do like that. I do. I'm going to glue them on. Now, Amy used her glue stick. I don't know whether that's the right thing to do for me or not. I'm tempted to use the art glitter glue. I think I will. I think I'll use this to glue this on. I've got a box full of felt and I never know what to do with it. I've had it for ages. I used to in years gone by, and we are talking when my children were at primary school. So yeah, we are talking a very long time ago. I used to get very involved in the Christmas craft fair at school. I used to make a lot of Christmas decorations out of felt. And used to love it. Used to love doing all that every year, being on the stall and getting involved with the Christmas things with the school, of course. And I've still got loads of felt left over from those days. So it's nice to find a way to use it. Such a simple idea. Who knew? A few triangles and you'd have a forest of trees. Love this idea. And as soon as I saw Amy making them, I thought, yes, I have got felt. As it happened, I had the orange and I had this dark red, didn't have any dark brown. So I have actually been over to Hobbycraft this morning, just because I had to go over to the shops anyway, for another reason. And I thought, well, I might call in and see what colour felt they've got. And they had the brown. Have I? Oh yeah, this is going over the top. That's right, I need this to go on next. So yeah, so I thought, well, I will pick up some brown as well, because they're not expensive. And then I might want to do something another time. I mean, they'd be great Christmas cards. You could just batch make them in, you know, different shades of green. Could decorate them, do one big one. I think Amy did that as well. She did one big one. Whoop. She did a big one. But you could do a big red one even. Why not? It's Christmas. All sorts. In fact, with my WI year before last, every year they have a Christmas tree festival in their village. I go to the WI that's in the next door village. So they have a Christmas tree festival in their church, and we get involved with, we have a tree there. Lots of local schools have a tree, and we do a tree. And it was my first year, I think, that I was with the WI. And so we were doing like a Scandi style tree, and we all made felt decorations. And the colours were white, red and grey. Oh, they looked amazing. I had so much fun. I made this grey Christmas tree with red trimmings on, and you would stuff it, and they looked fantastic. And I really enjoyed doing that. And we did it in a little workshop. A couple of groups. She gets the lady who organises it gets a couple of groups of people together, and we workshop. And we have a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed doing that. And I thought, oh, I do like doing things out of felt. It's so easy to work with. There we are, it's my little trees. Now, what Amy did in hers, because it was Christmas, and she was following what the lady had done in the magazine, was add a single sequin decoration, because that was the kind of the style. So I thought, well, I'm going to stick with that idea, but I'm not going to use sequins, because that won't really be very autumnal. I've got my trims, these leafy trims, under control now. I've rolled them all up so they're not all getting tangled. What I've done is I've snipped one leaf from the 3 different colours. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put a leaf on each of these. I thought that would look quite nice, and that would stay in keeping with the style that Amy was emulating. Something like that. I think that's around the wrong way. Oop. I think that's upside down. So we just got a single leaf on each tree. Oh, I'm beginning to really like this now. Okay, we're nearly there. So I just glue my leaves on. I'm going to put that down there or down here, right down at the bottom in the corner. There. When you're only placing one, you've got to be very particular about where it goes. I want to round my corners because it's a journal card. If I can get it in there. Yep. And go round with the scorched timber that I've been using on these cards. Although I think I forgot to do it on one that I made a little while ago. I have to go back and do that. I remember when I was watching the editing, doing my editing, and I thought, oh, I didn't go round it with my ink like I should have done. Okay. And that's it. That's my make for gesso, and you can just about see that gesso, and it did its job. It covered up the writing on the card, but I had to combine it with other colours because I didn't really want it to look like snow. So this is the gesso prompt, and there it is, and this is my photograph prompt, and I hope you saw most of that being made. I say, if I have totally messed up and you've missed half of it, I'll have to come back and do another bit. But I hope I haven't. So that's it. Thank you, Amy, for the inspiration for both of these. This was from a completely different, unrelated video to do with these 50 Stack Challenge, but I just thought it was a really different thing to do for autumn, so I really love that. And I'm very pleased how it's turned out in the end. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.